Yeah, so I should do this thing where I talk about South Africa, so you can know a little more about my life in South Africa when I was a kid. Not like most people care. I think I don't think people don't care. I think some people are curious. It's not like we care about each other too much. I think it's just we're more curious about each other, so we want to learn about each other because curiosity. I don't think it's so much about caring. Maybe when we form bonds with someone, then we care. You know, we care about our parents and our siblings. We care about our children, friends, because we form bonds with them. So we start to care. It's like when you watch a TV show, you start caring about the characters because you kind of you spend enough time with people, you start to form bonds. Like it's kind of like you feel invested. So, so I can tell you about South Africa. Yes, I was born in Cape Town, South Africa, in 1973. But it's more of a suburb of Cape Town. You know, so it's you could see Cape Town from where I live. You know, where I was born in the house where I live. So he became to America, so it was the same house in Claremont, which is a suburb of Cape Town. So I was, yeah. So you could see like Table Mountain and a little cable car from my house from my front yard, where they had a garden in the front. They had a grapevine. Really cool. And then let's see what else. Yeah. So I think my earliest memory was like, like when I was a little kid with my mom. I was at work. My sister was at school. My sister was like 3 years older than me, so she was already in school when I was like 3. I think 3 was my earliest memories. 3, and that's when I think I 3 or 4, and I made my first friends. I was kind of bored at home, so I was like, my mom was like, "Why don't you go out and make some friends?" I was like, I'm bored, Mom. Why don't you make some friends? And I did. I just kind of walked around the neighborhood a block away, and there was some kids playing. It's weird though. Like all those years, I never went out. I didn't even know who lives in the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, you go, "Oh, there's some kids living a block from me." I didn't know. And there was this one kid named Nicholas, and he was having a fight with this other kid. What the kid's name? The other kid. But then I took Nicky's side. Nicholas. I called Nicky because that's what he wanted to be called. And so I was like, "Hey, boy, you want to be friends?" That's what I said to him. See, I couldn't remember that. And he's like, "Yeah, okay." So we were friends, and we were friends ever since I left South Africa. So we were like best friends, and yeah. And yeah, about a block from my house, and I go there every day, hang with him. He lived with his grandmother and his grandfather, and yeah, we just kind of, he had a lot of stuff. He had a lot of toys. Yeah, a motorcycle, a real motorcycle, a little one. Yeah, we'd do stuff, and his mom would come. She'd take us, you know, downtown Cape Town. We'd go eat, drive around, or go to the beach. Yeah, it was fun. I love his mom. His mom, Lynn. Um, so yeah, she used to have this Le Mans. I think it was a Le Mans. Pontiac Le Mans, is that what it is? Like a hatchback? Le Mans Peugeot? No, Le Mans. Yeah, so we go driving in that. And yeah, so, yeah. So I lived in Claremont, went to a church called St. James, which is an Anglican church, which is like a mile away from my house. St. James Church, still there. That was where that terrorist thing happened in like 1990, where during the service, these guys came in there and started shooting up the place, and some people were killed. And yeah, so, you can look it up. St. James Massacre, Kenilworth, Cape Town, South Africa. Look it up. Yeah, but it's like several years after we left South Africa. So yeah, but yeah, so and my mom died of pneumonia when I was 6 in 1980, and yeah, that was devastating. And then it was interesting after my mom died. All of a sudden, we go visit all these relatives that we didn't even know that we had on my mom's. I don't know if she was just keeping us from them, or my mom just wasn't, you know, tight with them. So I wouldn't. I think not, because we never visited them while she was alive, and then since she died, we got to visit people that we don't know. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay, we're going there, and we're at these people's houses, and I don't know these people. So it's like, this is your mom's sister, or your mom's this and this. And I'm like, okay. So, like every weekend with someone else we were staying with. So, and then one day I was like, Dad, do I have to go? He's like, no, son, you can stay home. I'm like, okay, cool. It was cool because we go on Friday nights, and Friday nights was like it was a nice time for me because my dad was home, and it was the weekend. You know, he worked Monday through Friday, but he was home on Friday nights, and he was in a good mood because he had the weekend off. He has weekends off, so it was like Friday nights. But usually my dad's always back then. He was always reading the newspaper. He was always he's one of those guys. Yeah, watch TV, kind of quiet, reads the newspaper, kind of fathers. If you got something to tell him, ask him, and you can just ask him, and he's back to the newspaper. Yeah. But I just remember, Saturdays, the TV. He'd watch sports, and then I was lay next to him. He'd read the newspaper while watching the sports, and I was laying next to him on the sofa watching the sports, watching the rugby, watching Mone Duplessis play, and I actually met Mone Duplessis, by the way. Yeah, one Friday night with Penny and Ashley McKenzie, and Tammy McKenzie. Their father would come and pick them up on Fridays, and they go, to the movies with their father, and we'd go along. He was really cool, Mr. McKenzie. He had like his pickup truck, and we'd go. And he'd take us to the beach, and so he took us to the movies, and he paid, for us and stuff. I remember, I think we saw like the Deer Hunter. It was one of those movies. It was like around that time that was there. Or The Hunter. I think it was that Steve McQueen film, The Hunter. I think that was out. Or the Deer Hunter. I think The Hunter or Honky Tonky Freeway. Such kind of movies. Around that time, it was like brand new. And then we after the movies we went to this carnival. It was like in a park somewhere, and then we just kind of walked around. And all of a sudden, I see Mone Duplessis. I know Mone because I love like rugby. So I go, and it was like, and then I saw him. There he is. It was like this little ride with horses that goes round and round, and it was him, and there's a kid. I find his kid on the horse, and he was kind of holding his kid, and they were going around. And I was like, to my friends, were like, "That's Mone Duplessis, the rugby player, the captain of the Springboks." They're like, "Oh, is it?" They didn't seem to care. I'm like, I'm actually gonna say hi. I don't want to like be rude and kind of. He probably wants to be alone. He wants to be left alone. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go say hi to Mone. Yeah, let me go for it. So I went up to him and said, "Hey, Mone," and he was really nice. He was really nice to me. It was very cool. I didn't expect that. I just thought he was gonna be, because I've seen him play, and he's always playing and he's full of blood, and he's like running with that ball. So I'm thinking he's gonna be mean, but he's the nicest guy. He was very nice. So, and it wasn't like guarded or anything. It was just like, hey, you know what I mean? It's like we were kids too. It wasn't like he could think that we could do anything crazy to him. No, it was cool, and he like let us hang around like with him for a little bit, and that was very cool. So Mone Duplessis, cool, and that was very very cool. It was really nice. And I was all happy, got to meet him. So that was fun. So that's what we do. We visit like every weekend. We go to someone's house, far away, to spend the weekend with someone. And it was like a cousins or someone. Yeah, it's always someone else, someone different. Yeah, but it was just. But that was interesting. Yeah, South Africa. What else kind of? Yeah, so and then weekdays I go to school. My school was like 2 blocks away from my house. Rosmead Primary School. We had to wear a uniform, blue tie, white shirt, gray pants, a blazer. But it was always warm, so it was too warm for the blazer usually. We go in a haversack, which we call it haversack, but you guys call it a, what do you call it, a backpack. So we go, yeah. It was kind of like kind of a military kind of green haversack I remember having. And we go and go to school, do the thing. Sometimes we would have an assembly. We would sing hymns at school. Yeah, we sang hymns at school because South Africa was very like religious when I was a kid. We go to church on Sundays. We sing hymns in school, regular school. It wasn't a religious school, it was just school, and we sang we had like a hymnal. That's part of our school curriculum, and when we have an assembly, they would sing hymns. That's just the way it was, and that was still that way. But yeah, we had gym class. The boys, and the girls would have separate gym class. Yeah, I don't remember the girls really having gym class. The boys would have gym class, and we'd run around the school, and the girls would like watch us through the window and laugh at us, and we'd like wave. It's fun. They watch us running. I remember, and if you didn't bring your gym clothes, the teacher would make you run in your underwear. I swear to God, he would. If you didn't bring your gym. And we would have to run in our underwear, and the girls were watching. They would giggle. Yeah, it was good times, man. I don't know. I enjoyed South Africa. I enjoyed. Everybody was good. Everybody was kind. There was some kind of. You get like the spoiled brat kind of kid who kind of bragged about everything. You get that, but there wasn't anybody mean. There was no one like really, mean. Timmy. Everybody was kind of decent. I didn't get picked on or anything. I know like Elon got picked on. Yeah, me and Elon was similar age. He was 171, I was 173. He's from Pretoria, from Cape Town. It's like New York and Miami, different. Something like that. Yeah, I was never picked on by kids. A lot of these kids that I knew was church-going kids, just like me. They were nice. They were nice. So I never got that. I'm trying to think of any. No, never got in any fights. Not really. Yeah, no. People in my neighborhood were nice. Very kind, very quiet neighborhood. You know what I mean? Kind of like South Africa when I was a kid in the 70s and the early 80s. It was kind of like growing up in Britain in the 50s or something. Something like that. It's just very quiet and kind of. The postman rode a bicycle and he wear that kind of hat. Yeah, when the postman come, he'd be on a bike, a bicycle, delivering mail. It was just so cool. And yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know what else. Yeah, we just kind of do stuff and yeah. Yeah, we never think more about this. Add more stuff about South Africa.